Very good afternoon, South Africa. Baie goeiemôre Suid-Afrika. Of is dit goeiemiddag? Molweni Mzansi. A very good afternoon on a Friday, and I know that today is in actual fact the beginning of a great weekend for so many. My humble apology for calling just a quick live. As you all know, today a very special day in so many of aspects in my life. I promised that today, after the massive media announcement this morning, that I would just say a word about two very important matters that matter to myself. So if you would give me 5 minutes of your time, I'm also just waiting for a couple of people currently to come on before we make that statement. Baie goeiemiddag aan almal op 'n Vrydag. Ek weet dis die begin van 'n naweek. Ek weet op die einde van die dag gaan ons 'n goeie naweek hê. Maar daar was daarom net persoonlik twee goed wat ek met u wil deel, want dit is nogal persoonlik vir my. Twee goed wat vandag baie belangrik vir my is wat ek met u wil deel wat hard op my lê. There are two matters I just personally wanted to address with you that happened to me today. One of them happened to me about a year ago, which I just wanted to share with you. And one of those things burst into the media this morning, burst into my city, burst into my country, and I can just tell you I am overwhelmed. I am absolutely blessed, and I wanted to just share with that. But Mary, thank you. Good afternoon. Dries, goeiemiddag. Alpa daar van Eden. Goed om julle te sien. A very good afternoon. I'm going to keep this very short and very sweet. And then I will post that live so that people can share. Firstly, as you all by now know, a decision was taken by the National Executive Council of the UIM, various stakeholders within the Cape Town City metropolitan area that have been working on me for the past month and suggested in actual fact that although being the president nationally of the UIM, that to show action and show leadership and what we as the UIM can do, that in actual fact I should then take lead and run for mayor candidate of Cape Town City. Daar was baie mense wat met my gepraat het, ons werk al die maand hiermee en daar was 'n vraag toe van my mense om te sê dat ek asseblief vir burgemeesterkandidaat vir Kaapstad moet staan. After a lot of consultation with family and with my people, I have now clearly decided and announced it on Cape Talk Radio through our press releases that I will be standing as your mayoral candidate in the next local government election for Cape Town. It is very clear that Cape Town is in a bubble and that what is happening in this city is a two-city policy. I'm saying it straight. There's poor and there's rich. There's gangsterism, there's violence, there's poverty, and there's still today racial segregation in this city of ours. And it is time that someone gets up and leads from the front. Now we've had leadership of this city for 27 years, and we have still ended up with what we've got. Now, when you stand and you look at a place like Bishop's Court and Makassar, when you look at a place where wealth is and you go into Kailicha, no doubt there's a disparity between rich and poor, and you cannot deny it. For years, we have been trying to say that there's a place for one and a place for the other, and that ends today. Class segregation, racial segregation will end under my mayoralship. Crime in this city will become zero because I will be bringing an absolute zero tolerance to any crime in the city of Cape Town. The flick of a cigarette butt or the throwing out of your paper will become an offense Because if we can't get the smaller things right, how will we get the bigger things right? I am not talking about a draconian state. I'm talking about law, which will bring order. So from my point of view, the economic turnaround for all in this city began yesterday night when I declared, and we will turn Cape Town around not for one, but for all. We have communities that are currently sitting with nothing and communities that sit with enough. It is time to equal the playing field for this city. Now, when we turn around and say this city works for you, it is an emphatic lie. This city works for some. And under a UIM governance, that will be no longer. Sport facilities in this city will be upgraded for everybody. We will turn around in every community our social and places of gathering for youth. We will rebuild places of safety, and we will bring back the philosophy of it takes a village to raise a child. Gangsterism in this city will be dealt with. But more importantly, the reason for gangsterism is a social disparity and a collapse of the home. So social welfare, social intervention on grassroots needs to be done, not just policing and stopping violence and gangsterism in a city that needs help. We must turn now and say to each other that the only way to get a united Cape Town is to address all matters seriously, head on, without prejudice, without fear. A city needs a mayor that doesn't sit on his backside in an office, but walks the streets amongst his people. And that everybody knows I have been doing even prior to politics. Every school should be not getting a feeding program, but a small agri program so that they can grow their own vegetables, their own fruit, and their own capacity. And maybe if a school becomes an economic hub, then the society around it can also then benefit. It's time that we recognize that Cape Town is a city of many, that Cape Town is a city diverse, that our Muslim community, our Christian, our interfaith community play a big role. It is time that the colored community, the indigenous members of this city get respect, that they get a voice, and that they get reasoning, because at the end of the day, are they not the real owners of this land? All of you know my struggle credential. All of you know that I do not and will not allow racial prejudice or one above the other. It is time to make the city ours. So therefore, the slogan of hashtag Ikapa Ikaya, Cape Town your home, Kaap jou huis, needs to become true. I stand against crime, the immediate alleviation of corruption, the self-sustaining of bringing the textile factories, the businesses to all back in this town, so that we can make the economy of this city equal for all. It's time that we regenerate Cape Town, not to just be the mother city, but a family city for every citizen, no matter whom you are. The economy must be regenerated by ensuring that the city of Cape Town spends 90% of its 59 billion budget on local business without fear or without favor. It must ensure that economic growth happens for all, that BEE needs a redressing so that it can become national economic empowerment. I'm sorry, not just favoring one grouping. It's time that the fishing rights on the harbors that border Cape Town be regenerated in specifically the Hout Bay area. It is time that Luandle, Nomzamu, Khayelitsha, Langa, Nyanga, Inzamuyetu, that those areas really be given the upgrade necessary. That we provide toilets, the basics of water, sewage that is pulverizing our streets, our children playing in it, is not what we fought for 27 years. It is time that we give humanity back to humans. And I will stand for a city united, not divided by race, class, or prejudice. I know that we can. I know that we can unite. I know that white and black in this province is not white and black. It's one. So this is the announcement. This is what we are going to do. We will show the country that before 2024, what we can do. South Africa, I'm sorry, but it's time for change. And it must start here. It's time that we bring faith back under the guidance of the multiple religions that make God great. So that's the announcement. Change is coming in the city of Cape Town. Number two, today, the 27th of August, in 2020, last year at 20 to 7, I decided to become a son of God. I decided that I would adopt the Christian faith as my compass. And today I celebrate that as being 1 year in that journey. To everybody in my office, my friends, my two mentors, Graham Power and Michael Louis, that phoned me to celebrate this journey. Thank you. No doubt it's not been easy. To walk in the light is a decision, but to leave the dark is a better one. I hope that many other years I will face this in the sense of understanding that we need to live for the better. We need to live in faith, and we need to bring light back to this nation that finds ourselves so many times in the dark. To those that chastised me, that said that I would not hold this religious anthem, that I would not stick to God, may this be a lesson in your life. When you go into faith, it's then that dark comes. But with you, with so many prayers, with so many people supporting me, we have proven that this road is true. So for you, thank you very much. Thank you for what you have done in my life. What the future brings is a fight for change. And that change can only be done in faith and in ensuring that this nation believes again that hope comes not just from mere words, but you'll be judged by your actions. So welcome on my journey. Let's change the city. Let's change 8 metros through the UIM. And in 2024, we take back our country and we deliver a country that the world again can look upon and say, halala. This is South Africa. So enjoy your weekend, be in faith, celebrate Braai 'n bietjie, and just remember, we stay in a country that is beautiful. And we will again be that which we were before. May God bless you. Mag die Here julle seën. May God's protection be upon this Republic of South Africa. Mag God se rykste seën skyn oor hierdie Republiek van Suid-Afrika. Geniet dit. South Africa first, always first, but in God number one. Thank you.